Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense, and this is the 2009 Kansas City Chiefs team preview. I'm here with the czar of the playbook, Emery Hunt. I'm Tyler Merkovich, and Emery, Scott Pioli moves down to Kansas City. Herman Edwards is out. First thing he does is grabs Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Todd Haley to be the head coach in Kansas City. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think Todd Haley, what he's done at in Arizona was real exceptional. Taking that team, revamping that offense, and leading them to the Super Bowl. Now he's going to bring that same philosophy over to Kansas City, and hopefully can duplicate the same success. Problem I see is that they don't have the horses that the Cardinals had in over there in Arizona. You had your Fitzgeralds, you had your Boldens, you had a solid O-line, you had Kurt Warner. He comes to a team now where he has Larry Johnson, which is a big, powerful runner. Last year, with the offense they ran, it was more of a spread type offense. Now they're going to go to a more traditional 3-wide receiver with a tight end, which is going to give them more lanes to run for Larry Johnson, as he had before they switched that offense last year to cater to Tyler Thigpen's strengths. So I like Larry Johnson. In the backup, you have Jamal Charles, speedster out of second-year man out of Texas. He's going to do exceptionally well. If he gets a lane, he is gone. With speed like that in that type of offense, it could be dangerous. So the running back situation is actually, I think, better here in KC than it was in Arizona with Haley. Wide receiver situations, the only wide receiver they have is Dwayne Bowe. And he is a question mark himself. He's a big-time guy, has a lot of size and some speed. He's inconsistent with his hands, though, and as a receiver, as a #1 option, you have to be able to catch the ball consistently. So one thing I look for at with the receiving core at the Chiefs is I need to see more, because there's no #2, there's no #3. Who are those guys out there? They got rid of Tony Gonzalez, so Brad Cotton is asked to take over and to be that leader, that inline blocker, as well as that pass receiver that they had in future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez. And when you look at up front, offensive line play is solid. They do have a solid offensive line with Brandon Albert from Virginia. You have the veteran in Mike Goff. He never misses a game. He's dependable. He's solid. You look at Brian Waters, the rock of that offensive line. He's go back to the old days when they had the Roves, and all the other guys on that offensive line. So the veterans. So he's going to be good. So the line is solid. The other question mark they have is the quarterback, Matt Castle. He had a phenomenal year in New England last year, but you want to know was he a product of the system and the product of the players over there in New England, or is he really a big-time quarterback? Well, we're going to find out real quick as he's going to be thrust into the starting lineup, and if he is either sink or swim with this guy. But they do have a capable backup in Tyler Thigpen, who can run around a little bit. He's a tough guy. He's a tough kid out of Coastal Carolina, but he can also play the game a little bit too. So they're safe. If Matt Castle struggles, then they can come back down to Thigpen and probably won't miss a beat.
Very interesting. Shout out to the Chanticleers there of Coastal Carolina. But you mentioned Dwayne Bowe of LSU, another LSU player they fell in love with during the draft, and this guy was rising up the boards. He was picked #3 by the Chiefs overall in the first round, and that's Tyson Jackson. Now the Chiefs plan to move from that 4-3 to a 3-4, and this also relocates Glenn Dorsey, last year's first-round pick, also out of LSU, and he's going to move from the 3 technique to the 5 technique.
And one thing, when you look at a lot of teams, it's the chick thing to do now. They want to come in and switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4 because they see the teams would have success. Your Steelers, your Chargers, your Patriots. The thing is, you have to have the guys to play that defense. You look at Glenn Dorsey. He's 6'1", 297. He was a little bit undersized as a 3 technique. Now you move him outside over the tackles as a 5, and you ask him to command a double team. It's going to be tough. He might not be able to hold up at the point of attack. They did draft Tyson Jackson, who Pioli said reminded him of Richard Seymour out there with the Patriots. So you still wait and see with him. He was on other people's boards between 10 to 15. Now you take him in top 3. That's an impact player. You have to get production out of Tyson Jackson. So that's key to their defense. Also, you look at Ron Edwards, he's going to play the nose. He's 6'3", 315. He's a big guy, but if you look at the teams that have success with 3-4, their nose tackles are huge. You look in Cleveland with Sean Rogers. He's 6'4", 350. You look at Chris Jenkins with the Jets, 6'4", about 350. You look at the Patriots. I mean, you got big Vince Wilfork. Who knows how much he weighs, but it's well over 350. But he holds his own at the nose, commands a double team. That makes it work. And so with other guys like that were productive players, your Tamba Ali's, where is he going to play? He's going to play DN or linebacker, and now you don't know. You're going to move him to a position where he's not natural. If he's a rush linebacker, so what's going to happen with that? You look at Turk McBride. He was a defensive end. Now they're going to move him to linebacker possibly. So what's going to happen with that? You also look at Tank Tyler, 6'2", 306. Where is he going to play? Is he going to be your nose tackle, or are you going to move him to a 5 technique as well? So there's a lot of questions on the defensive line and linebackers. They have real good guys. I love the fact that they brought over Mike Vrabel to be a leader in their locker room. I love Derek Johnson. He's athletic. He can make plays all over the field. He's going to be awesome in the 3-4. And in the secondary, they drafted a lot of great guys. Flowers last year. Brandon Flowers, cornerback, always had his hand on the ball. He's a threat to go the distance anytime he picks it off. Real ball hawk. I like Brandon Flowers. So there's a lot of talent on KC. So, but with their schedule, I just hope that with a new coach staff, they're able to get stuff in, get the timing down, get it going, and I just need to know if they're going to gel quick enough in order to take over this offense as well as that new 3-4 defense. A
lot of position changes on defense, a whole new era and system begins in Kansas City, and of course we all know they're in the AFC West. They'll battle with the Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos. Now, where do you see this team falling by the end of the year?
And by the end of the year, things, without injuries, and these things have to happen over the course of a season. Teams get hot, but as of right now, on paper, with the new scheme, new head coach, really new shift in the organization, I just see Kansas City battling between Denver for that last spot in the AFC West. I think the class of division. I think the Chargers are going to take it. I believe the Raiders are going to surprise some people. And with the two new coaching staffs, with the Broncos and the Chiefs, I think those two teams take a step back this year. So I see the Chiefs finishing 4th in the AFC West.
For more 2009 NFL team previews, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL.